Hmm. Interesting. High in the pre-market, another high right around the open. We didn't get that third one. Interesting. Well, so this was to the upside. All right. Really expected more of a bullish move. Um, but so now we know which direction the Magus is going here. You know, I should have been able to determine that based on the theme card. Duh. This is around 11 to 12. It's probably this right here, actually. So we have this sharp drop. It's not. It's not as much as it could be for the tower card, but something I probably haven't mentioned in a while. Actually, I used to talk about it all the time. Is that the overall trend direction has a tendency to kind of dampen the impact of the cards with the trend with counter trend cards. So like an up card for the theme, overarching theme to the upside is going to dampen in most cases cards like the failure card or the tower card. Yeah, but I was really thinking we were going to the downside. Man, my bad, guys. But I should. I'm looking at this and I'm like, I should have been able to see this. I must have been distracted. Right. So this here, this is a pretty big move. You could say Magus card into the 3 o'clock hour, where we should have a failed attempt to break through resistance, and it'll look like we're going to break through, or we'll expect to break through. We could that could be what like we could temporarily break through even and then turn around and decline through key support. I think in this last hour oh, you know what threw me off was the volume card. In that's why I was thinking more bearish for whatever reason, but I should have gone with the theme card. Duh. The volumes talking about the very end of the day or overnight mostly. So in any case, there's most likely like this move from overbought territory here, pretty notably to the downside. Interesting. I mean, probably move with the Magus card. We could still be moving to the upside too. It's possible. There's cards that are movement cards, and there's cards that are kind of like happening cards. Hard to explain. It's in the book. Hey AV, hey Conrad, hey Carolyn. I would get into them. When I was looking at the cards just now, that's what I was looking about. So we moved to the upside, and I remember I said depending on what the Magus card does, we'll know what to do. So I would say opening up a short here is a pretty notable opportunity. The high's probably in based on the direction that we went today. The high for the month is probably in. It was probably here. Really, and as indicated before, we have like this high that we come off of the prior day, and you could see right there that was like the high, and we came off of that, and moved notably lower there. Yeah. So we may very well have like a prominent peak here, but um yeah, there's going to be a pretty notable move to the downside here, is my sense, tomorrow. So this ended up being like a, it's hard to see it as a prominent peak, but we had this new low and then a move to the upside. And I think probably tomorrow when we go lower. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. We go lower. I mean, nullified low card has correlations to the morning. I mean, that's a pretty clear indication to me. Great guidance on D Dog. Appreciate it, Carolyn. Astrologically speaking, August 9th is supposed to be a big reversal day with a Sun square Venus retro. Do you see that reflected in the market on the 9th? Yeah, pretty much. It's like, but the what you got to keep in mind is like when the market, when the astrological signature happens during market hours, it has much more of an impact. Like if the energy, the astrological signature happens on a weekend, there won't be a reversal. Even though it's a reversal energy, the market skipped over it, if that makes sense. For the most part, that's the way that I've seen it work with astrology. And the reason why it's been so hard for people to pinpoint patterns with astrology and the stock market is because of those weekends. The chart that my team built that we tried to launch on Kickstarter actually tracks astrological signatures with the charts of the stock market, and it includes the weekends so that you can see the patterns and all that. So Sun square Venus. I don't see a Sun square Venus on the 9th. In any case, it's more so the reversal would be like here. The opportunity is here. Or like first thing in the morning, there might be some opportunity around that void of course moon. But I'm not seeing a Sun square anything on the 9th, Carolyn. Hey, Tabraze. Hi, can you please update on SPY? Instead, we went lower. Do you see we go higher on the 9th? No, we were just talking about that, Tabraze. Looks like we go lower. I was talking about how I should have seen that we would move to the upside here. For whatever reason, I misread it. It was because of this indolence card really threw me off. But it was a rookie mistake. I should have known better. With the theme card to the upside, and 90% chance we end higher. So in the midst of this Magus move where we have this failed attempt to break through key resistance, this is where you would open a short position for a multi-day short. There may be another opportunity around the same price level tomorrow, but I think we probably open lower. It looks like we open lower. We have nullified low correlator here, and what I do with nullified cards is I look into the next day to see if there's any correlations between the timeline cards and the nullified card from the prior day. And in some cases, I find reliable information. The reason why it's translucent is because it's not as strong a connection. It's not as strong a correlation as, say, the same day reading. It's kind of like a secondary thing, so it may or may not impact. But it does seem in this case like what we're going to do is open lower. We got this bearish energy at the end of the day. The indolence cards really is talking about end of day energy. And even if I'm wrong about it and we go higher tomorrow into end of day, I would just add more to my short position there at the end of the day. If I was wrong, I would just add more to it, because on the 1 month we're pretty much there. We pretty much topped off. High was here. It was literally the day before the month started, as indicated by that ruin pretty notably. And you can see right here, the day before the month started was like the pivotal point. So we came close on the second. We came close to the high on the second, but not nearly. And in that case, based on where we opened today, I don't foresee us meeting that as the highest high. It'll be a prominent peak or crest. But it also could be that the prominent peak or crest came earlier, like a day earlier, because sometimes that can happen. Overall, though, even if tomorrow's to the upside, the overall trend is going to be to the downside over the next several days. So that's why I would want to get into a short position and not miss out. And if I'm wrong, I would add more to about tomorrow. If I'm wrong about tomorrow, I would add more to the short there at the end of the day. Do you see SPY on... Oh, hey, AV, sorry about that. Just want to check on QS again. Last week we had bullish guidance, short squeeze to highs, and yesterday's bearish was bearish. The stock has already come down a lot. So the question is, should you hold or should you exit? What, are you in a short or a long position, AV? Does SPY hit 385 on the 14th? I feel like it's more likely to hit 385 on the 21st, but who's to say we hit it? Let's see. I mean, it could be that big of a move because we have it combined here with the Hangman card, but it's less likely because the theme card is sideways rotation. But there's a possibility that we go all the way down here. 385 is really low. My gosh. We probably do hit that in the next correction, though. Do we hit 385 in the next correction? Market correction? Which we might already be in, actually. I think the leverage card is a yes or it might be a maybe. So that's one of those iffy cards. It's a yes. Interesting. Oh, okay. So you bought stock. So are you at a loss right now? Is my understanding correct, or you just shaved off some profits? Um, do you want to hold for QS? Hmm. I got a yes for hold, and I just want to verify that. I want to cross that with another question. What's the near-term trend direction? Yeah, out of a decline, there's a move from the bottom of a range to the top of a range. So I would hold that position, AV. Uh, yeah, that's right, Conrad. If we're wrong and we go higher tomorrow, if I have an off day, then at the end of the day, you should open up, like, add to the short position. API, stock direction. What's API's near-term trend direction? It's negative. It's to the downside. S&P 500 has a rally in early September, right? Let's take a look. I'm already working on October. Oh, that's meta. Too many lines. Jeez. Sorry, guys. So tedious how they have this set up to delete stuff. Um, yeah, it does look like from the 1 year standpoint, it's actually kind of mixed in early September. There is a sharp drop. There's like a rally that increases with momentum, and then there's a sharp drop from that peak that it creates. I wouldn't say it's a rally in early September. I would say it's kind of mixed in early September. Yeah, so moving into overbought territory there, but we'll probably go a bit higher before we turn around. Are you still thinking that a SHIB long 9 to the 13th is profitable? Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Interesting. So this Ace of Swords may end up of being the top. Matter of fact, that's probably no, no. I don't think that's the top. So a short from or a SHIB long from 9 to 13. Yeah, I think so. It looks like a pretty solid trade. We'll go from price swings to a rally that increases with momentum. Actually, a rally that increases with momentum will happen after we have a drop from a near overbought peak or crest, and then there's rally that increases with the momentum, and then we attempt to establish support probably at a higher price level there on the 12th, and that's where I would get out. Yeah, okay, so that's why it'll be in the next like correction, but by the 14th, very very unlikely. 438 by the 14th. I got a yes on the 14th. If I'm wrong, then very, very likely it would be on the 21st. But I got a yes for the 14th. The 438. Shop for the coming 2 weeks. Oh, AV. So overall direction is down until October for the S&P. Yeah, it looks that way. Yeah. Decline into October, yes, that's correct. And we might see that price level. It's possible we see that the mistaken price level, the first one that Conrad asked about. Was it Conrad that asked about it? All right, so general trend direction for shop. So the remainder of this week's trend direction, there's a reversal. And then next week, multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance. You're welcome, AV. Hey, Proof. How about... Oh, hey, Robert. My bad. Oh, and I saw Proof already for the API. My bad. UPST earnings today? Guys, did we do UPST earnings? I feel like we did UPST earnings. Does anybody remember if we did that? Hey, Vanessa. Thursday, August 10th. What will be the trend direction? In the morning? We're going to decline into a low. Attempt to establish support at the low after a big decline there, and then we should have a So it may be that we have right at the open like this big move off of established support, and then we decline into a low again there around the Princess of Cups. But especially because the correlation to the universe card is here so early in the day. But overall, like the pre-market's looking like a decline that increases with the momentum moving forward into a low for the day where a first low for the day, I should say. And it may be that we open higher in the pre-market, like we open higher than where we close in the pre-market, but then from the pre-market open where it was higher, we decline to a lower place by the time we get to the open of the day, is more than likely. You're a good boy, Hermes. You know, everybody loves you. Thank you, AV. UPST earnings beat pop and drop. And what's interesting is that we have these unicursals here on the 9th and the 10th. Didn't we just see one as well? I feel like we just saw one not too long ago. Right? That might, no, we did here on the 2nd. Right? There was a unicursal at the high on the 2nd. And you can see where what happened on the 2nd. It was kind of like a combination of both kind of of two of the three main possible things that happens with the unicursal, where there's a sharp drop or there's like a peak before a sharp drop. The other one is that we go higher, but that unicursal would mark a price level that we break down through in the next major decline. For shop, which day in the coming couple weeks is the best time to exit long position? It looks like Wednesday of next week. Either Friday or Wednesday of next week. It looks like Wednesday of next week. But the thing is like Friday might be like a new local high and a good opportunity to exit as well. Because the beginning of next week's kind of looks a little ugly, and then we have this big move midweek on that Wednesday. IWM for the rest of the week. So there's an important support level on a multi-day scale that's highlighted tomorrow. And after, like, I guess what we'll probably do tomorrow is it'll look like we established support. Thursday, we have this failed attempt to break through key resistance. It's a disappointment. So it's like the disappointment card usually comes right after the establishment of support, because the disappointment is that we establish support. Hey, we're going to break through, but we don't break through. Instead, we decline through that falsely established support. And then Friday's the Ace of Cups, so it should be a pretty notable decline around Friday. And in the midst of that decline, a notable opportunity to open up a long position. The following Monday is the Ace of Wands, significant move to the upside, an opportunity to open up a short position or close a long position. It's basically the opposite of Friday's energy. So this is a pretty solid trade right here. IWM. FYI. FYI, IWM. Also, Google highest on the 9th, decent short 9th to the 14th. Hmm. And the question was it a short you were looking to do? Um, there's there's probably a decent short from like a move to the upside on the 10th, like a pretty notable move to the upside to a prominent peak or crest. Will decline tomorrow and then probably move higher, maybe back to the same price levels here. But after that, we should have. It's really mixed. This would be a difficult short to hold on to be frank. Like, it's pretty mixed. And we go into a notable low here, notable. I would probably, if I was going to short it, I would like probably not watch until the 25th where I close it. But that's not an easy short, guys. That's a long distance short. Shorts are supposed to be quick, and short is usually against the overall trend directions. These are the classical things they tell you, but we know trend direction, so they're just guessing. All right, so let's recap here. Seeing those lows ended up being overnight. We had a nullified swiftness card, so kind of threw us off. It's that overbought crest. I mean, it could be near overbought. But what you see happen here is today is near the high. What we did is we went through a price level, we crossed through it again, and then we crossed through it to the upside a third time into the high. And that's the three crisscrosses back and forth, confirming a bullish trend. The lows nullified, and then we see these correlations to it tomorrow. Yeah, you see, we've got the satiety card, we've got the indolence card, we've got the happiness card, we've got the debop card. These are all decline cards. Some from a peak, some from just decline, but they're decline cards. You're welcome, Carolyn. And tomorrow's low is nullified as well. I think probably the low is Monday morning, actually. Yeah. It might be at the end of the day because it's, what is it? Let's look at it again. Yeah, it's a pretty bearish day. But there's a lot of bullish energy midday, which is interesting. I would definitely be in a short position by the end of the day in the midst of any move to the upside near the close. I would use as an opportunity to open up some puts. I would open up puts. That's what I would do personally. And I would do it while it looks like an insanely bad idea to do it, because that's when you get the discount. When everybody's scrambling to buy and the rally is like getting stronger, that's when you get a discount on puts. So that's what I would be looking for. So if I'm wrong and we were to open higher, like we ended up being higher in the morning, I would say that the end of day definitely we would see it to the downside. But if I'm right and we have this big gap to the downside here and to a low in the morning, yeah, it's here. I was looking at the 14th, but it's here. And like I said, tomorrow, probably a good place to get into a short position right around here. We're coming up on the last 10 minutes of the day. Trade opportunity in the midst of this move. This is a Magus move, guys. Here you can see trade opportunity there. Excuse me. And then there's like this failed attempt to break through resistance, followed by decline through falsely established support. We have all this bearish kind of energy here with these high numbered cup cards, kind of on the cusp of the eighth, ninth. And here's that disappointment card again. Interesting. So if I'm wrong, because these translucent red, they're not as strong correlations as say same day correlations. They correlate to the previous day's low, but sometimes they are an indication that we have a trough here. But let's say we move significantly to the upside. This could be that resistance that we saw here again, like at the end of the day, or it could be like that could be the failed attempt. Like we continue higher and we have this failed attempt at resistance around here, which what is this, like 449, 450, and then decline from there. But I think we probably have a lower open, and then it's kind of mixed throughout the day. End of day rally. If I'm wrong about it, if I'm wrong, like if I'm too soon, if I'm too early opening up a short position today, tomorrow it turns out that I was too early today doing that. I would wait till the end of the day in the midst of that rally, and then I would add to that short position. I had a high for Amazon on the 10th. Started daydreaming, sorry. See that adjustment card move, that gap up? And that took us to a peak or crest on the 4th. So we were off just a little bit on that. We had it for the 7th. Oh, well, depending on how you look at it, if you follow the candlestick intraday, we were off a day. And if you follow like the closing price, the actual body of the candlestick, which a lot of people do, we were right on point with that peak or crest. And so what we should see is more of a move. It's very interesting. I'm pretty sure the 10th is, it's like it's either the ninth, 10th, or the 11th, but I'm pretty sure it's there on the 10th. There is a sharp drop here overnight, most likely. $145 might be a little high though. I would expect more likely to see. Oh, matter of fact, the 7th also could have been the high. I don't know why I don't have that marked that way. They have very similar correlations. Matter of fact, the 7th probably was the high. Either that or we have it here on like the cusp of the 10th, the 11th. But looking at it again, that very well could have been the high right there. If we have a high here, it's going to be roughly the same price level as the 7th. It's not going to be much higher. Pretty much nothing. It looks like nothing to me. I'm seeing two different lawyers, like an older one and a younger one, or two men involved somehow. But the fourth option is most likely the outcome. And I'm pretty sure we already answered that question, and it was answered the same way, pretty positive, like maybe a week or two ago. Overall direction of Kospi market. Overall trend direction for August. Significant move to the downside off of a peak or crest. Or excuse me, not a crest, off of a peak specifically. Hey, AU. Oh, AU, we talked about that so many times already. Just check out the beginning of the prediction. It's pretty well spelled out. With that said, guys, I'm gonna roll. You know where I gotta go. Hermes Dog Park time. But thank you all so much for watching. And as always, make sure to follow that rule of karma. You do so here on the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders, where we ask that you donate 5% of the profits forward to one of these charities, 5% of the profits back to the channel here. Thank you very much. And that's 90% left over, spend out of love or reinvest. out of love. Follow those rules, and the universe will send it back to you tenfold through this channel.